Martin Collins was a man with a secret that gnawed at his conscience like a persistent rat scratching at the walls of his mind. For years he had carried the weight of this dark deed, hidden from the prying eyes of the world. But tonight, as the moon cast eerie shadows through his bathroom window, Martin could no longer contain his guilt. It had been a humid summer evening when Martin arrived home from a long day at work. Exhausted and desperate to relieve himself, he rushed into the bathroom, only to find the toilet occupied by his wife, Angela. Panic surged through his veins as his bladder threatened to burst. Without a moment's hesitation, Martin made a fateful decision. He turned toward the sink, his heart pounding with a mix of urgency and shame. In that moment, the porcelain basin transformed into a forbidden altar of release. Martin peed in the sink. As the yellow stream splashed against the stainless steel, a sense of relief washed over him. But it was short-lived. The guilt, like a specter, loomed over him, haunting his every waking moment. He couldn't escape the shame of his act, the knowledge that he had violated the sacred boundaries of bathroom etiquette. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but Martin couldn't shake the feeling that his transgression had consequences. Strange occurrences began to plague his home. Faucets dripped incessantly, echoing through the empty hallways at night. The sink, the vessel of his shame, seemed to whisper secrets in hushed tones when he passed by. One evening, as Martin stood before the stained sink, he noticed something peculiar. His reflection seemed distorted, twisted into a grotesque caricature of his own image. Fear gripped him, his heart pounding like a thunderous drum. He couldn't look away, mesmerized by the horror that stared back at him. Weeks turned into months, and the sink became a portal to a nightmarish realm. Shadows danced within its depths, beckoning Martin to confront his guilt head-on. Desperate for answers, he sought solace in the works of Stephen King, hoping to find a shred of wisdom that could guide him through this macabre ordeal. But the more he delved into King's tales of horror, the more he realized the eerie parallels to his own life. The sink became a vessel for supernatural forces, a conduit through which his guilt manifested in terrifying ways. He was trapped in his own personal horror story, with no escape in sight. As the walls of his sanity crumbled, Martin found himself confronted by his daughter, Melissa. She had discovered his secret, witnessed his act of desperation that fateful summer evening. Her eyes bore into his soul, filled with a mix of disappointment and understanding. "It's time to face your demons," Dad, Melissa said, her voice tinged with a haunting wisdom beyond her years. "You can't hide from the truth forever." With those words, a glimmer of hope ignited within Martin. He knew what he had to do. He must confront the sink, his guilt, and the dark forces that plagued his home. Armed with newfound determination, he prepared for a final showdown. In the dead of night, Martin stood before the sink, his heart pounding in his chest. The shadows writhed and whispered, taunting him with their malevolence. With a deep breath, he reached out, his trembling hand touching the stained surface. A surge of energy coursed through him as he confronted his guilt head-on. The sink trembled, cracks spiderwebbing across its porcelain skin. The forces that had haunted his home recoiled, vanquished by the power of his confession. As the sink shattered into 1,000 pieces, Martin felt a weight lifted from his shoulders. The darkness that had haunted him for so long began to dissipate, replaced by a glimmer of redemption. He had faced his demons and emerged victorious. From that day forward, Martin vowed to live a life free from the shackles of guilt. The sink, once a vessel of shame, became a symbol of his redemption. And as he rebuilt his bathroom, he did so with a renewed sense of purpose, reminding himself that even the darkest secrets can be washed away, one shard at a time. In the end, Martin Collins learned that the true horror lies not in the act itself, but in the power we give to our guilt. And he emerged from his ordeal with a newfound understanding of the complexities of the human psyche, forever changed by the sink that held his darkest secret.
If you enjoy our short informative video, put your like and subscribe. Do not miss our upcoming videos. We may be a bit awkward, but we always manage to have a good time and find joy in the little things.